Aloha, this is Tom Lesher with the weekly Pele Report, and this one is for August 10th, 2011. I'm down here in North Carolina on dial up, so I hope I can even get this thing on the net. But anyway, uh, what's going on out there? Whoa, big time, big changes. This is we are in the crooks. There's big stuff going on. I could talk for a long time about this. So let's get going. Basically, Mars entered Cancer. I talked about it last week a little bit, and this, it's very intense. Yesterday and today, the 9th and the 10th, Mars is in early Cancer, and it is squaring Uranus and opposing Pluto. So what we have is what is a grand cardinal cross going on right now. And basically, it is Mars down here in Cancer, opposing Pluto, squaring Uranus and Saturn, making this grand cross. Now, some of you, and I've been saying this for a while, if you have your sun, moon, rising, any personal planets in particular in the early degrees of Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn, you have been feeling this pressure, this tension. We'll say you are ambassadors of the new age. Yeah, you are agents of the new paradigm. I mean, if you're personally connected to this long range transition that's been going on since, I would say, at least a year. The summer of 2010 was really when Saturn came into Libra and really kicked off this whole dynamic, yeah? And this whole dynamic is all about finding our equilibrium, finding our autonomy, and finding our autonomy without what's our autonomy is our Cancer, right? Our emotional self security is now being challenged by what? Our relationships, Saturn over here in Libra, our jobs and our financial security up here in Capricorn, and then lastly, our own need for liberation, for freedom, and for a movement into the new future self, the constantly unfolding, evolving identity threatens our known, secure, past, habitual, conditioned box, envelope, family, security, whatever you want to call it. So this is a time, and what we can do is we can look at this, you know, let's look at the timing of the cycle. It was last summer, around August 1st, that Mars first came around to conjoin with Saturn at early Libra. Okay? Then, around, my notes, mid December, Mars came around and conjoined with Pluto in Capricorn. And then, around mid April, yeah, April 11th or so, Mars came around and conjoined with Uranus in Aries. And now it's down here in Cancer. Okay? And it's interesting because first it's squaring Uranus, then it's opposing Pluto, and finally it's not until the 25th of this month that it finally comes into a square with Saturn again. So what we can say is there's a link between last August, December, April, and now. And that link is, let's look at it. Number one, last summer in August, Mars hit Saturn, and there was the desire to separate, to break, to renegotiate, to relook at the way that we are with other people. Yeah. Then around December, there was some, you took action about that. What was birthed kind of last summer, took some new forms and new shapes in the middle of December. Then in April, all of that was tested as Mars came into this opposition with Saturn and the square to Pluto. And it joined with Uranus that said, Uranus, I've got to be me, I've got to be free, I've got to do my own thing, I have to be liberated. So there's no, this is just like the death of codependency. And it's taking years. Yeah, it's going to take 7 years. Uranus going through Aries for 7 years. So we don't have to be in a hurry about this, you know. It's not going to be decided today. Then Mars comes around now. And it's just like boom, boom, boom. Mars is what? The sword quality. And it's just like our umbilical cord is getting cut with the scalpel. We are getting chopped as Mars is in Cancer. We are needing to, and this is very interesting, in one sense, Mars can be cutting the cords from the past and our old way of doing things. And in another way, Mars is also that penetration and that creation, that desire to strike out into the new. So this can be a time some people will experience as you know, the loss, the separation, I've got to get out of here, or other people are telling me to get out of here, or you know, I'm letting go, making room, breaking out. Other people that made room and broke out and you know left an old situation, you know, as of you know like April or whatever, now they may be actually building the new nest, you know, making a new form of security or making new goals and new plans, you know, meeting new people for new relationships or whatever. Yeah. Now, I want to talk about if you are in an existing relationship and you've been in this relationship for a long period of time, it's not like everybody is breaking up and starting anew and starting over again. You know, I mean, what does this look like if you are in, you know, a committed relationship? Well, this is a time of number one, Mars going through Cancer is upsetting the, how do I say, the ambiance, the harmony within the homestead, one way or the other for everybody, because we're all dealing with new, unconscious needs that are emerging from our own personal self, and we're you know they're new. It's like we don't know how to express them. We don't know how to get them met. So you know they cause some friction. But the things that I want to talk about here, if you're in this existing relationship, number one, since last summer, Saturn going into Libra has raised the bar. Our relationships have to be total integrity, the whole truth. What is it? The truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and a lot of it. No more secrets, no more hiding, no more I'll wait till a good time to say this, that, or the other thing. There's got to be air, Libra, communication. There's got to be integrity. There's got to be responsibility. And the responsibility is what? Your responsibility to your partnership is that you have to be responsible now to yourself. The Uranus in Aries is saying the best that I can be for you is to be totally me. And so the best way to make relationships harmonious and to make things work these days, the advice of the astrology of the times, is to support your partner's autonomy, to support your partner in being as free, as liberated, as open, as much on their own path as you can possibly stand. And you know, and if it gets to the point where their path is so obnoxious or so destructive to your well-being and your you know sense of balance and your integrity or whatever, then you know that's the line that says this can't go forward. You know, I can't go forward with this, or you can't go forward. And you know, if someone is leaving you or you're getting the boot, you know, or you know it's not happening in that situation, that condition, well then what you're doing is you're just you know you're playing these things out unconsciously. And and this is where you need to have the faith and the trust and the belief that Life is always bringing you exactly what you need, exactly when you need it, as much as it may hurt at this or other particular times in your life. Yeah? And that brings me really to the mantra for this week. The mantra for this week is I am not alone. I am one with all. Instead of alone, it's all one. Well, we're going to just turn that around, right? I am not alone. I am one with all. And this sense of connection, this sense of being held, within the tapestry, or, held by the trampoline under your trapeze, it's all right to fall. There are no mistakes here. The important thing is to act. And Mars is kicking our butts right now to act. So if you're like, I don't want to do it now, or, I mean, guess what, man? It's going to go down whether you are consciously part of the, I mean, if I think of the dance, you're either the leader in the dance or you are getting like thrown in the dance one way or the other, right? So that's what's going on for this week. Now, the beautiful thing, Jesus, I could talk forever. How long is this? I'll try to wrap it up. Sun, Venus, Mercury conjunct, all three of them in Leo this week, this weekend. And then we've got this full moon in Aquarius. Oh my God. So all of this crap going down with the change and the tension and the pressure and the, security in relationship. Heavens to Betsy, Thank goodness we have Sun, Venus, Mercury conjoining in Leo. And what's Leo? I need to create myself. I need to recreate myself. And as the good king, the good queen, the lion, the lioness. So I got to like step up. And it's our fire, it's our fire engine here. Now, the full moon in Aquarius is going to illuminate new, ingenious, beautiful, magnificent ways, innovating. I'm reinventing myself. This is a very powerful, powerful time. In shamanic astrology, that Sun, Venus, Mercury conjunction says that Venus and Mercury are in the underworld. This is a meeting between Aphrodite and, Hermes, right? And Apollo. And they're all going, no, 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 we're going to make it. And what happens now is Mercury comes out of the underworld on the 25th. Venus comes out of the underworld September 23rd. So these plans, this identity that is being hatched now, take it easy on yourself. Listen and play. Recreate is recreation. That's why I'm down here at the water. I'm going to slide down that waterfall and, feel the water, go into nature, feel yourself, and through that play, you become softer. And the softer you are and the more you smile, the more spirit can penetrate you, and the more spirit can signal you, and the more you can tap into this new, vital, powerful energy that is your future self. So chill out, relax, play, trust, believe. You're held, everything is fine, and you don't need to be grasping and clinging and dependent and longing and all this. Just take it easy, man. Whatever. Oh God. So yeah, that's it. Namaste, aloha. See you next week. I wish you the best. Farewell.